The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grandy.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Phil's Gang Radio Show, coast to coast, off the Wall Street Radio Network. Happy Friday. The weekend is upon us. And just like yesterday, the Phil's Gang staff is filling in for Phil Grandy. Phil is on vacation and, of course, will return. As a matter of fact, guys, when is the last time Phil took some time off?
It's been about 3 years, actually.
Well-deserved, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We have a few things to discuss and go over today, and we're going to start off with something that needs meets our attention here is the Wells Fargo deal here. I'm going to go ahead and play this clip for you.
We stepped in and had the toughest reforms on Wall Street since the 1930s. We said you've got banks, you've got to raise your capital requirements. You can't engage in some of this risky behavior that is putting Main Street at risk.
Well, your host today, we have JR.
Hello.
We have Steve.
Thank you.
And my name is Alex, and I don't think anybody at Wells Fargo got that email or that memo.
No, I don't think so either.
I think Hillary got the email and erased it, therefore it couldn't be forwarded.
Probably.
Yeah. So the CEO of Wells Fargo, John Stump, this guy really had it coming to him, and Senator Elizabeth Warren gave it to him. So check this clip out right here.
I accept full responsibility for all unethical sales practices in our retail banking business.
I think that's what John Stump's motto was, wasn't it? It was accountability. He believes in taking accountability for his actions in banking. The banking cartel should take accountability. Am I correct?
Absolutely. The banking cartel, with the Federal Reserve and its member banks, have been systematically robbing us blind since 2009 when we were, tricked into bailing them out. We really thought that we would have a whole giant cataclysm if we weren't, thankful for these banks and we bailed their fraud out, which is what it was, is that we bailed out fraud. Nothing has changed since we bailed this fraud out. The fraud is still going on. They're just finding different ways of making fraud, like Wells Fargo's a perfect example right here with their accounts that they made up out of thin air just to charge people extra fees because they weren't making fees. They need more money because they never got fixed to begin with. They still have tons of those derivatives are still on their books, and the Fed, all they've been doing is setting up the whole market and the whole economy to try to keep these banks stable enough to where they don't blow up and take the whole thing out.
Yeah, and as far as accountability, accountable with what, no repercussions?
They're too big to fail.
And the thing too is that the executives of Wells Fargo, they were stressing their employees out big time because they're telling them, listen, we need to cross sell. Okay, so when we get a client that comes in and they open up a bank account, well, I want you to cross sell them. I want you to push all these different accounts on them. Okay, so you're going to have a savings account. You're going to have a business account. You're going to have, and when they weren't making these quotas, they opened up, in a matter of, say, 5 years, they opened up over 2 million false accounts, opening up credit cards and debit cards in their customers' names, and the customers found out by, a creditor would call them up and say, hey, you owe us some money.
Well, they also decided it would be a good idea to forge all those documents, even forge emails, so that they could create these fraudulent accounts to bill these people. So it was total fraud and deceit from the beginning, and there's no way that they can that they can turn around and say, "Oh, we weren't sure what we were doing." It was premeditated to the max, and of course, we're not going to see any. What would they get fined? $a couple $100 million or something like that?
Yeah, it was $185 million, and the CEO, John Stump, I guess his stocks or something like that, they went up like $200 million. Let's listen to Elizabeth Warren, talk to John Stump here.
You squeezed your employees to the breaking point so they would cheat customers, and you could drive up the value of your stock and put hundreds of millions of dollars in your own pocket. This is about accountability. You should resign. You should give back the money that you took while this scam was going on, and you should be criminally investigated by both the Department of Justice and the Securities and Exchange Commission. The only way that Wall Street will change is if executives face jail time when they preside over massive frauds.
So Warren Buffett, okay, he's the majority stockholder for Wells Fargo. Am I correct on that one?
Yes, he owns a vast majority of the voting stocks of Wells Fargo. So that means he's a controlling member of the board of Wells Fargo.
Well, does anybody disagree with what
I have no
Warren
objection
says?
with what Warren says, except that rather than him resign, he should be in prison. If it were me or you or any other person who wasn't part of Wells Fargo's top brass that did this, it would be fraud, right? And we would go to a courthouse and sit in front of a judge and a jury, and they'd have the whole court proceeding, and we would be found guilty because obviously it was premeditated. This was not an accident. You don't accidentally generate email accounts to scam people to get, extra fees out of them. So until we start absolutely prosecuting this fraud, these banks, they're just going to keep doing it because they know that they're just going to get fined a couple $100 million, and they're going to make $4 billion doing it. So it's good business to continue doing so.
Well, isn't that the first clip I played? Which Obama is pretty much saying the Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act will protect the consumer from that. But the problem is Warren Buffett. It's
was
a
a
good
lie,
call.
though.
Okay, she's sitting there, yelling at this guy, calling him a criminal. But put up or shut up. What are you going to do now? Are you just going to keep yelling at him, or are you going to actually follow through and do something about it?
I think that they're just going to pay lip service to the banks and make it look like, hey, we're upset with you and we're really mad. But at the end of the day, what's going to happen is what's happened up to now. They're going to get fined, something small. I mean, maybe even $1 billion, which you got to remember these banks make tens of billions a year, tens of billions, 1 billion, 500 million. That's nothing. They literally make that back.
I'm sure everybody wants to know what Warren Buffett has to say about Wells Fargo, right?
We are back with Warren Buffett. This is a good time to ask you about Wells Fargo, which you own a major stake.
Yeah.
How big is what's the percent of the shares outstanding you have?
Well, we have a little over 400 million shares, so we're well over 7% of the company.
So which bank do you like the best?
Which bank? You mean the one we own?
Yeah, the ones you own.
If I had to just own one bank, I would probably own Wells.
So, us here at Phil's Gang, that's not good enough for us. So we decided to call to see if we could reach out to Warren Buffett, right?
Berkshire Hathaway.
Hello, my name is Tom, and I'm a producer with the Phil's Gang radio show. We're just calling to see if Warren is available to make a comment about Wells Fargo.
This is the Phil's Gang radio show, 877-600-4264 gang. Check out the website, www.philsgang.com. Join the gang, give it a try. It's $39.95 a month. Stand by, we'll be right back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Do you invest in a 401k or an IRA? Did you know you could lose 30, 40, even 50% of your investments when the market crashes? It's time you take control of your investments. For over 15 years, Phil'sGang.com's Phil Grandy has been teaching, coaching, and investing right along with all Phil's Gang members, making profits when the market is up or down. Phil'sGang.com posts daily market updates, has a live investing class, and all material is archived. Sounds too good to be true? Why not join thousands of satisfied Phil's Gang customers today? Go to philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264.
For more information, simply go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You hear me talk about 401ks every day on my radio show. Why? Because it's such a disservice. 89 million Americans have a 401k. There's 638,000 plans. And the father of the 401k, Ted Brenner, even admitted they're a scam. He doesn't endorse them anymore because of the ridiculous fees. You got to get away from those fees. Remember, every 1% fee, they take 30% of your retirement money. The average fund is 2.5%. 60% of the money is going to be gone when you're ready to retire. You don't need to do that. There's an alternative. Join my gang, philsgang.com. philsgang.com. Seek out the alternative. Give yourself a break. philsgang.com. Sign up today.
Find out more at philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You know, there's nothing worse than you're investing in a stock and during the day something happens and you don't know what to do. You don't know who to call. Or you call somebody and they just give you a bunch of BS. Not here at Phil's Gang. We value every gang member. During the day, you got a question about your stock, you contact us. We have the best service in the world. philsgang.com. You're not alone. You're a gang member.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call. That's 877-600-4264.
Do you invest in a 401k or an IRA? Did you know you could lose 30, 40, even 50% of your investments when the market crashes? It's time you take control of your investments. For over 15 years, Phil'sGang.com's Phil Grandy has been teaching, coaching, and investing right along with all Phil's Gang members, making profits when the market is up or down. Phil'sGang.com posts daily market updates, has a live investing class, and all material is archived. Sounds too good to be true? Why not join thousands of satisfied Phil's Gang customers today? Go to philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264.
For more information, simply go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
philsgang.com.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
At St. Jude, a family never sees a bill at all. It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders.
The treatment doesn't get any better than what you receive at St. Jude. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures. Saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You know, most people get involved with a 401k because of the employer match. They really believe that there's free money. There's no free money. It's a scam. Here's how it works. You ever notice that you can't get the money all at once? Why not? Why don't they just give you the match all at once? Why over 6 years? Because they know only 12% of the people who work for a company stay for 6 years or more. Only 12% are there for 6 years. That's why they plugged it to 6 years. They know you're not going to stay. So it's not for your benefit. It's for the benefit of the company. It's a scam. There's an alternative, though. Phil's Gang. Join my gang. philsgang.com. philsgang.com.
Find out more at philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264. Welcome back. Looking for insights and investing information? Join Phil Grandy and become a Phil's Gang member today. For more information, go to philsgang.com.
And welcome back to the Phil's Gang radio show. Before the break, we were talking about Wells Fargo and the CEO of John Stump and how he always says that accountability is everything. But we see how that's going, and it's not good. But here at Phil's Gang, we need to make some money. As a matter of fact, if you're interested in Phil's Gang, go to philsgang.com. And on the homepage, you'll see class and updates, okay? You can't click on any of them because you're not a member yet, but that's all right. I want to tell you how hardworking Phil is. We have Coffee Talk, the trading class, a 115 update, market wrap, alerts, the working investor, plus the radio show. Phil is constantly watching the market, and we're with you every step of the way. And, to make some money, we got to check out the stock market, so we'll go to Stock Corner.
Stock Corner is brought to you by the Phil's Gang Max Investor 1000 stock charts.
All right, welcome back to Stock Corner. Looking over the market, just a quick glance at everything. The market is just sitting at where it was yesterday, pretty much. We're just we're about negative 114 points, so we're not exactly where we were yesterday. We're coming down a little bit, but all they're going to do with the stock market is what they've been doing. They're just going to keep it in the best they can, windmill it for Hillary Clinton, and then once Clinton gets in office, they'll probably pull the bids out, and you'll see things fall down. Right now, as long as the spider stays above 215.73, we'll be within our top range, which we were stuck in for, 45 days going sideways? Literally 45 days we went sideways in that range that we've been in. And as far as the market is concerned, there's just they're holding things up because they like to point at the market and say that the economy is doing well. Look at the stock market, and that's their MO. That's all they got, really. They don't have really any other numbers that they can point to in our economy, unfortunately. And a lot of it's due to what we were talking about before with this fraud and the way that the economy is being run from these banker globalists that just basically are having to bail each other out constantly. But now I'll go to Steve and see what his opinions are on some of the stocks that were recommended for us today. If you would, Steve.
Thanks, JR. Okay, so let's play this first cut here.
When the Einhorn headline, not the Einhorn, the Ackman headline came out about Chipotle Mexican Grill.
Chipotle here.
Recall that? The stock went up to $440. We said you got to fade it. Actually traded back down to about $390 or so. But look at the performance today, and look at where it held in relation to the low it made in January. I think CMG is giving an opportunity. Risk-reward sets up well.
Not on our charts, it's not. I mean, our weekly trend is telling me that this stock is still going down. We've got red candlesticks, and there's no way that you would buy this stock if you were looking at our charts. But you wouldn't know that if you don't have our charts. So, again, philsgang.com and 877-600-GANG, and just ask about the MV2. There is a free promotion where if you join the gang right now, go online, join, call us up, and we will add that chart to your account for free for the first month. Okay, here's another cut.
You look at this company and you look at the iPhone 7. Everybody said the problem with the iPhone 7 is it looks just like the 6. Well, what it looks like and what's inside are completely different things. When you look at the processor speed, you look at the battery life, all of the different graphics that have changed, the A10 chip 40% faster, the processing faster than the previous A9. There's a lot of reasons to like the iPhone 7.
And boy, is he right. I mean, there's a ton of reasons to like the new iPhone 7, but you know what? What does that have to do with the stock? Not a thing. I'll tell you right now, the only way I would ever, buy any stock is by looking at a chart. It's just like, driving down the road with a blindfold on. Would you do it? I wouldn't do it. How about you, Alex?
No, absolutely not.
How about you, JR?
Only once.
Yeah. Well, we won't get into that one. But anyways, so let's just continue on.
Is Gilead undervalued at almost 100 points below Amgen?
Gilead is extremely undervalued. Remember, we look at price-earnings ratios, so the actual price differences of the dollar differences don't matter. But Amgen is incredibly cheap, too. I prefer Amgen over Gilead only because Gilead's got to get off the schneid and start buying something with that money.
Yeah, Amgen. Yeah, incredibly, what do you say, overvalued?
Undervalued.
Undervalued. Yeah, no, I disagree. Why buy it now when it's at $175 when you could have bought it way back in October 2015 down for about $140? Why does Kramer always miss these discounts? Because he's really not looking at charts, and that's what we do here. Again, I cannot reiterate that enough. Technical analysis over fundamentals every day, and that's what Phil teaches you, that's what JR teaches you, that's what we teach you here at the gang. And one of the other things that we forget to mention here at Phil's Gang is that we have some of the best support you'll ever get. When you call, you get a real human being. You don't get somebody saying dial 1 for English. I mean, this is America, and I'm not saying that we don't help other people or other languages, but this is America. You shouldn't have to dial 1 for English. And we're here to really help you as an individual with your portfolios, with your charting questions, even with your computer issues. If you're having trouble with your computers and it concerns Phil's Gang, we're here to help you.
Now let's go to Jay in Washington. Jay.
Hey, my stock is Fiserv, FISV.
Oh my God, this is just one of these great I call it TechFin. TechFin, it's a great financial technology company. I was going to mention it the other day when I did the credit cards. You got a winner there.
Hey, Phil, what do you think about that?
Are you nuts?
Exactly. I mean, again, he's saying buy now, should have bought way back in January. If you would have bought January 20th, it's a buy all day long. You would have made about 20% on the stock. If you waited till Jim Cramer tells you to buy in, you're missing out on a huge opportunity.
And that's how it works. You got to remember that Kramer also is trying to get his friends out of that stock, so you're holding it up while he's getting his buddies out.
877-600-4264. Go to philsgang.com, click on Join the Gang, and take advantage of the MV2. Free 4 weeks.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grant at philsgang.com. Everybody says, I hear it everywhere, no matter where I go, I'm not going to get in the stock market because it's rigged. And I think, what are you, nuts? That's exactly why I want to get into the market. Here, listen to this.
We front-loaded at the Federal Reserve an enormous rally in order to accomplish a wealth effect.
But we front-loaded at the Federal Reserve an enormous rally. So are you telling me you don't want to get into a market where they front-loaded an enormous rally, where they fixed it to go up? You don't want to get in? What are you, nuts? Of course you want to get in. See, your fear is, once you get in, you're fearful you're not going to get out in time. Well, that fear is gone. That's why I designed the Max Vesta 1000, the color-coded technology. It'll get you out before it crashes. Believe me. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Isn't it time you reduce your fear of investing? Find out more at philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264.
Do you invest in a 401k or an IRA? Did you know you could lose 30, 40, even 50% of your investments when the market crashes? It's time you take control of your investments. For over 15 years, philsgang.com's Phil Grandy has been teaching, coaching, and investing right along with all Phil's Gang members, making profits when the market is up or down. philsgang.com posts daily market updates, has a live investing class, and all material is archived. Sounds too good to be true? Why not join thousands of satisfied Phil's Gang customers today? Go to philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264.
For more information, simply go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Everybody says, I hear it everywhere, no matter where I go, I'm not going to get in the stock market because it's rigged. And I think, what are you, nuts? That's exactly why I want to get into the market. Here, listen to this.
We front-loaded at the Federal Reserve an enormous rally in order to accomplish a wealth effect.
But we front-loaded at the Federal Reserve an enormous rally. So are you telling me you don't want to get into a market where they front-loaded an enormous rally, where they fixed it to go up? You don't want to get in? What are you, nuts? Of course you want to get in. See, your fear is, once you get in, you're fearful you're not going to get out in time. Well, that fear is gone. That's why I designed the Max Vesta 1000, the color code technology. It'll get you out before it crashes. Believe me. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Isn't it time you reduce your fear of investing? Find out more at philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, people make it too complicated. Wall Street tells you the market cap and the trailing PE and the forward PE and price to sales to confuse you. All you need to know is, does the stock have volume? What's that mean? Energy. What does that mean? If you have people buying a stock, enough of the stock's being bought, it influences the prices to go up. Join my gang, philsgang.com. We're using charting, philsgang.com.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call. That's 877-600-4264.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
El que San Jude no cobra ni un centavo para nosotros significa quitarnos todo ese estrés, esa preocupación y podernos enfocar en nuestra hija.
That was the first thing I was like, how are we going to do this? When St. Jude told us that we didn't have to pay a single bill, I was like, wow. They pretty much have saved us.
It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders, and now your focus is supporting this child.
There is not another hospital like St. Jude. The patient care is unmatchable. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, people make it too complicated. Wall Street tells you the market cap and the trailing PE and the forward PE and price to sales to confuse you. All you need to know is, does the stock have volume? What's that mean? Energy. What does that mean? If you have people buying a stock, enough of the stock's being bought, it influences the prices to go up. Join my gang, philsgang.com. We're using charting, philsgang.com.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call. That's 877-600-4264. You're not a regular listener to Phil's Gang? What, are you nuts? Listen to Phil Grande and check out philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang, the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Before we went on break, we were talking about what we do here, some of what we do here at Phil's Gang. And, I've been in the tech business quite a while in a help desk situation where you call a company looking for help because you're paying for a service, and it's an automated machine. You get a computer and you're supposed to talk to this thing. 15 minutes later, you may, if you're lucky, be able to get somebody. And that's not the way it is here. Once you call this number, it's usually me and Steve answering the phones here to answer your questions, and JR is constantly answering emails in regards to questions about certain stocks, specifics, how the charts work. We're here with you every step of the way. Not only that, but Phil himself has 40-plus years of being in the stock market, trading in the stock market. He's an excellent teacher, and it's so easy. Steve and JR actually touched on a little bit on the MV2 charts, and when they first started, they took a little time to get used to. But someone like me, who's not used to being in the stock market, I looked at those charts, and at first it was a tad bit intimidating. Not the technology side, but what do I do with these things? Well, listening to Phil and the help of Steve and JR, it's literally that simplified. Do you want to expound on that, Steve?
Yeah, it's really easy, Alex. It's red and green. It's like a driving,
Well, the red and green,
driving
I always
your
get
car.
calls about the candlesticks. The red and green, those are pretty much indicators, correct?
That's correct. When the candlestick is green, it's indicating that it's a go or a buy. If it's red, it's indicating to get out or sell or short, which is another thing that we teach you how to do here at the gang.
Man, it couldn't get any more simplified than that. Steve early, he mentioned the promotion that we're running. If you go to philsgang.com, you click on Join the Gang. Okay, $39.95 a month. All right, running the promo where the MV2 chart. Okay, that's mainly for the working investor, for people that don't really have time to sit there and watch the stock market all day. If you listen to what Phil has to say, it should not be. It's not, my problem was when I first started looking at this thing, I was overthinking it. And now when I look at it, I go, my God, it is that easy. Join the gang, and we'll give you the MV2 chart for free for 4 weeks. So what else are we talking about today, guys? What else is happening?
Well,
hey, how's everybody? Now let's get started by letting me give you a little bit of a scenario of what my life is all about. First off, I am 35 years old, I am divorced, and I live in a van down by the river.
That, of course, was the late comedian Chris Farley. That's an old Saturday Night Live sketch that Farley did. He portrayed a motivational speaker that lived in a van down by the river. Well, the unfortunate part about this is that it's becoming a reality for way too many Americans, even though Obama told us, okay, that he is a warrior of the middle class.
I'm a warrior for the middle class.
I think he meant to say I'm a warrior on the middle class.
You know what? I think that is absolutely correct.
He just slipped up and said for instead of on.
Yeah. And then, of course, Hillary, right? She's going to be the new warrior of the middle class. And consider this, okay? The middle class has shrunk, and the cost of living has increased. A lot of the people have decided to quite literally, okay, live on the road, whether it's in a car, in a truck, a van, a bus, an RV. An increasing number of Americans are using their own vehicles as their homes, and that's crazy. And it's almost like a fad. When I'm watching, my mother loves to watch HGTV, and every Sunday we spend time with my mom. So she has HGTV, and they have this new show called Tiny Homes. And I'm sitting there scratching my head like, what is this? It's almost like an indication of that's what we're going to have to do is live in a 400 square foot box in order to afford to live. And, sadly, it's reflection or the back end of the economic crisis. Many Americans are getting to the point where staying in their homes may not be an option for them anymore. Recently, the New York Post article entitled "The Terrifying Signs of a Looming Housing Crisis." And I know, Steve, that you're pretty excited because you're on your road to home ownership, are you not?
I'm trying to be. Yes, I am.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Is like that's for Americans, that's not good. Trying to be. I mean, hardworking Americans should not try. It should just be, hey, I'm going to work. I'm going to put forth the effort. I'm going to put some money away, and unfortunately, it's becoming harder and harder. The number of New Yorkers applying for emergency grants to stay in their own homes is skyrocketing. As the number of people staying in homeless shelters reached an all-time high last weekend. Records show this. There were 82,000 applications for one-time emergency grants to prevent evictions in fiscal 2016, up 26% from 65,000 requests the previous year. And that's just in New York alone. So where is the help that
Obama
Obama
promised?
promised?
There are a whole host of steps that we've done to provide a cushion for folks who have fallen on very hard times and to try to spur immediate projects that can put people back to work.
Well,
Lie, lie, lie. Lie, 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 lie.
At this point, I think it would be harder for us to find things that he hasn't lied about and actually told the truth about.
Yeah, it's disheartening is what it is. I'm watching our fellow Americans, and I'll tell you this. This is what I love about working for Phil's gang, okay, is that Phil, he's talked about this, about the market being front end loaded. Well, this is the thing. The jig is up, okay? We know how you guys run. We know how you make your money. That's why here at Phil's gang we do make money. That's why we have these proprietary charts to follow, and they work. That's all there is to it. And JR happens to be a great chartist, an MV2 expert. Do you want to talk about the MV2 at all?
The MV2, yeah, I would. And the MV2 is probably the best thing for somebody who doesn't have a lot of time to sit around, watch their charts, and make moves throughout the intraday moves that you may have to do. For example, if you're trading intraday, you may have to take profits at a certain area, or you may need to add on to a certain stock. And if you're working, you're busy, you're at out in the field, or you're at a job site or whatever, you don't have time to make that kind of commitment to actually take profits or to add on to your shares. With the MV2 and the Working Investors updates that I do, they don't really have to think much about it. They pop up their MV2, they look at their chart really quick, they see what's going on, whether they have a buy pattern or not. A buy pattern is very simple. And if they do, they add on or they get in for the first time. And if they don't, they just close the chart and go on about their life. It's the most simple way to trade possible.
Well, I'll tell you what, at $24.95 per month, I did a little due diligence online. I wanted to know who else was out there doing kind of what Phil does, and nobody does what Phil does. I'm going to admit that right now. But there are other places that are doing something similar, almost like weekend seminars type deal. They want like $15,000, $10,000, $15,000 for this stuff. And I'm scratching my head going, how can that be? There's no way on God's green earth that you could teach somebody in a couple days and they're going to pay you $15,000. I mean, well, I guess they did teach them. They taught them a lesson, that's for sure. And these other charts that I'm looking at, they're nothing like these MV1 and MV2 charts.
They're overcomplicated, Alex.
Yeah, I guess. A guy calls in. He's been in the stock market business for over 20 years. He said we have the best charts out there. Go to philsgang.com or call us 877-600-4264. We'll be right back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. Phil Grandy is a career businessman who has also been an entrepreneur all his life. He has used his business skills to take companies on the abyss of bankruptcy and bringing them back to profitability. Phil has been honored by Inc. magazine for the 500 fastest growing privately held companies and has been recognized with a prestigious Entrepreneur of the Year award. From the real estate to gas and oil industries to the stock market, Phil Grandy has mastered his line of business from start to finish. And with a passion and desire to make you a profitable investor, only Phil teaches you and guides you to make informed, unemotional investment decisions. And you'll gain the knowledge of what Wall Street doesn't want you to know. If you want to learn from the best and strengthen your ability to invest, then turn to Phil Grandy and philsgang.com. Simply call Phil's Gang at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Or go to philsgang.com. Are you ready to get serious about your financial future? Reduce your debt, pay off those student loans, and prepare for retirement. Taking control of your finances can be intimidating, but with philsgang.com, you'll be educated and guided to make smart investment decisions in the stock market. If the market is up or down, philsgang.com is the only source where you'll learn how to trade stocks and how to invest in the stock market using professional-level skills and strategies. For more information, go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. Most people get involved with a 401k because of the employer match. They really believe that there's free money. There's no free money. It's a scam. Here's how it works. You ever notice that you can't get the money all at once? Why not? Why don't they just give you the match all at once? Why over 6 years? Because they know only 12% of the people who work for a company stay for 6 years or more. Only 12% are there for 6 years. That's why they plugged it to 6 years. They know you're not going to stay. So it's not for your benefit. It's for the benefit of the company. It's a scam. There's an alternative, though. Phil's Gang. Join my gang. philsgang.com. philsgang.com.
Find out more at philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
At St. Jude, a family never sees a bill at all. It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders.
The treatment doesn't get any better than what you receive at St. Jude. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures. Saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You hear me talk about 401ks every day on my radio show. Why? Because it's such a disservice. 89 million Americans have a 401k. There's 638,000 plans. And the father of the 401k, Ted Brenner, even admitted they're a scam. He doesn't endorse them anymore because of the ridiculous fees. You got to get away from those fees. Remember, every 1% fee, they take 30% of your retirement money. The average fund is 2.5%. 60% of the money is going to be gone when you're ready to retire. You don't need to do that. There's an alternative. Join my gang, philsgang.com. philsgang.com. Seek out the alternative. Give yourself a break. philsgang.com. Sign up today.
Find out more at philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264. Welcome back. This segment of the Phil's Gang Show is brought to you by the MV Stock Charts. For more information, go to philsgang.com.
Welcome back to Phil's Gang, Coast to Coast, off the Wall Street Radio Network. My name is Alex. We have JR and Steve with us today as Phil is on vacation, and we're going to address some of these things that are being said about Donald Trump in the Hollywood community.
On Tuesday, November 8th, this country will make one of the most important decisions in its history.
But you only get this many famous people together if the issue's one that truly matters to all of us.
A disease or
ecological crisis or a racist, abusive coward who could permanently damage the fabric of our society.
Do we really want to give nuclear weapons to a man whose signature move is firing?
Firing things?
That's pretty harsh there. And I don't know if I want to listen to people that actually get paid for lying. You know, they're actors. Do I believe these people? Nah. You know, I can make my own assessment. And for them to be that harsh about Donald Trump it leaves me scratching my head. You know, and nobody talks about the good that Donald Trump does. Nobody talks about, you know, especially when they call him racist. That's mind-blowing to me because he has done a lot for the African-American community.
Excuse me, Alex.
Yes, sir.
The Reverend Jesse Jackson happens to like Donald Trump.
Oh, that's right. Go ahead and play that one.
I do want to express thanks to you, Donald Trump, for being with us tonight. We need your building skills, your gusto, your rent package for people on Wall Street who represent diversity. And we thank you for coming tonight. Let's give Donald Trump a big hand.
Yeah, the Reverend Jesse Jackson actually talking Trump up. And I'm sorry, JR, were you going to say something?
And this was in 1999. It's odd how in just a few, you know, in about a decade, everything all of a sudden changes. And now Jesse Jackson and everybody says, oh, well, Trump's racist, this and that. And the real reason, in my opinion, why all of this is being played out the way it is because Trump knows these people intimately. He knows who these people are, and he knows how to fix a situation. And they are terrified that they may have to actually answer and that the chickens may come home to roost for what all of them, all the bankers, all the politicians have done to this great country of ours, while we just sit by and watch while our rulers basically just give everybody a free pass. Oh, did you create all those fake accounts over there at Wells Fargo? Oh, well, we'll just, fine you a few $100 million. And, of course, we're not going to let you admit to any wrongdoing. This way, when somebody else goes out and tries to actually make a case against you in the, as far as a actual, a case, like if I had actually gone to sue him, I would have to go and get all of the discovery documents myself. It would cost me personally millions of dollars because of the way that they rule on those cases, where they get no wrongdoing and they end up having to pay a fine and nobody gets nothing. The CEO stays there, stock price on most cases go up, and that's that. It's business as usual. They just made $8 billion, let's just say, and they managed to lose a couple $100 billion in the process. That's good business, and that's the way it's seen. That can't happen. We have to stop that. That we have to go back to. We have to have somebody there that actually has a sense of honor and trust and dignity, and we've lost that, I think, especially with what we've had in the last 40 years alone in our government.
Yeah, you bring up excellent points, valid points for sure. And, in the beginning of your discussion there was, Trump has been around a long time. This guy's a multi-billionaire. He owns a lot of stuff, and he ran in a lot of circles. I'm sure he knows about a lot of secrets people have, a lot of skeletons in people's closets, and I do believe that they're terrified, especially, if you look at Trump and how the consensus is with the media and how they're pushing this agenda so hard against him, calling him racist and saying he's no good for America. He's not qualified to lead the country. He's shaking up the establishment is what he's doing.
And Clinton, somebody who's absolutely a criminal, like both of them, both Bill and Hillary, absolute criminals. I remember when Bill was like my family. They came from Arkansas. My grandmother was born in Arkansas and lived there. And when he was governor of Arkansas, they did so many improprieties. It's unbelievable. And when they point their finger at Trump, somebody who's a businessman who actually has to answer for his crimes, if he does anything wrong, Trump's got to pay the price. The Clintons literally have owned their government since they were, members of their own state government and never had to answer for anything. Like Whitewater. I mean, there are so many actual crimes that you can go through that the Clintons have committed that they just walked away from. I mean, Clinton himself was impeached for lying to everyone. I mean,
yeah, I pretty much looked into that, and under the Clinton names, there's a lot of waters there for some reason. So, once again, valid points here. And like I was saying before, is you get a guy like Trump who's literally shaking the establishment. Okay,
he knows.
They're terrified of this guy because he could blow the top off their their whole scheme, and they don't want that. So there is a level of truth behind what Trump's doing because he's shaking up the establishment. Anybody who does that deserves to get somebody taking a look at him because he must be doing something right. And as a matter of fact, there is a CNN reporter walking down in North Carolina. North Carolina is a lot of civil unrest right now. And he's going around asking the crowd questions, and he comes up to this older African-American man, and this is what he had to say.
What do you think about the fact that white supremacists support Trump?
It doesn't matter. That's the right to free speech. I'm sick of this race and divide, and CNN is perfect at doing that. It's always divide and conquer. People have the right to choose whatever they want. What the hell has that got to do with Donald Trump? He's not a racist. I'm sick of that. It's a scam, and I know it's not going to get on CNN.
I mean, is that a fair question to ask? Are you saying that Trump is racist because some racist guy supports him?
I'm just here doing my job.
Trump
yeah,
is
so
not
there's
a
another
racist.
guy in the crowd asking the reporter questions.
It's the media who gives us those perceptions. You see, because the Democratic Party, they always control the black people. It's a plantation. Getting their food stamps, getting their welfare, and they're not dreaming for the stars. They're not, and society is killing that dream. They're killing that dream by this globalism, because globalism takes away America's wealth.
He's absolutely right. I mean, the definition, according to Merriam-Webster, of globalism is a national policy of treating the whole world as a proper sphere for political influence. I mean, so if there's one government controlling the entire outlook of the world, where does that leave anybody else? Where does that leave opinion?
Out in the cold.
Yeah, where does that leave Americans?
Sovereignless. We're absolutely sovereignless. We don't have an America. We have a globe. And we will have to bow down to an all-powerful globalist
Well, that
society.
isn't going to happen on my watch, man. I'm
I
not
hope
going to
not.
do that. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, me
And
neither.
neither is this guy who was just talking. And it's funny because there was another guy there with a camera, and he started asking the CNN reporter questions that made him extremely uncomfortable. I mean, right there.
He said he was just doing his job. His job, what? To like force people against each other with race? Is that his job?
That's pretty much what he was doing.
Because that sounds like what he was doing.
Yeah, and he got busted. All he did was walk away. So, Steve, hey, brother, what do you have something to say, don't you?
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, racism is a horrible thing, and I believe it's just a big agenda that the Democratic Party is pushing. But besides that, onto something a little bit more cheerful.
Absolutely.
I'd like to say happy anniversary to my wife, Yasmin, as tomorrow is our 11th year of marriage. Thank you for a beautiful 11 years and our 2 beautiful boys. And I also like to say thank you to Phil and Marta, and I hope that you have a good rest of your vacation, and we'll see you next week. And anybody else?
No, that's beautiful, man. Congratulations to you and Yasmin. And I just want to remind everybody, if you're curious of what we do here at Phil's Gang, please, by all means, go to www.philsgang.com. Okay? There on the homepage, up at top, you're going to see class and updates. And you're going to see all of what we do. Coffee Talk, Trading Class, 115 Update, Market Wrap, Alerts, Working Investor, plus the radio show. Click on Join the Gang. Okay, do yourself a favor. $39.95 a month to get the MV2 chart.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grandy, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.